Alright, welcome back to Lumify. In this video, we're going to talk about custom widgets. There are a number of different custom widgets that you can create within Lumify. One of them is a contact form. That's what you're looking at now. You have an availability checker, and also a client login form so that your clients can access the client portal on Lumify. We're going to start with the contact form here. As you can see, by default, you get a very sensible contact form. It asks for information related to your client's name, their email address, a description of their event. It asks you for the date of their event, a number of guests that might be attending that event, and then any details that your client might want to share with you. Now, all of these fields are fully customizable. You have a drag and drop option here. So if you wanted to, you can move the email above the client's name, and that'll show up in your live preview over here on the left. If you really want to, you could delete certain fields. So for example, if you don't want to collect the date, if you don't want to collect the number of guests, you can click on the field and you can just delete that. Cool. And then if you save that, it'll refresh and you'll see that the number of guests option has gone. You can make fields required. You can even hide fields if you want to. Those are all options you can do. Now you can even put in a placeholder, or you can change the label if you want. So for example, on email, if you want to change the label to client's email, you can do that. Let's make sure you hit save. You can also edit the placeholder value. So if you wanted to put an example, you can do that. Make sure you hit save. So now you'll see the label is updated and there's also a placeholder for your clients. Moving on down from the input fields, you'll see that there's a notification option. This notification option allows you to decide who will be notified, which of your staff will be notified when you receive a contact form request. By default, the person that will be notified is the person creating the form, but you can always choose additional staff to be notified, or you can even remove yourself from this list of folks to be notified. So for example, if you just want your lighting technician to be notified, or one of your staff to be notified, you can set that up. If you want everyone to be notified, you can remove all of the staff, and then all staff will be notified. In most cases, you might want to have just one person or two people notified. Moving down, you'll see there's an option here for form appearance. You get the option of a dark theme or a light theme. So you have light theme, and then you have the dark theme. You can also choose a different background color, and this helps you match with your branding, for example. So let's make it like a dark blue color there, and let's see how that looks. Cool. You also get the option to change this button color. Let's make that sort of a red color there. Awesome. You can also change the title of the form. So currently it says, tell us about your event. We can change that to contact form. Update that. Or if we wanted to, we can completely remove that title and it won't show a title. Let's leave it there for now. You can change the success message. This is the message that's shown when a client successfully submits this form. You can also change the contact button text. So currently it says submit, but you can maybe say contact us, and that'll change the button text. And then finally, you'll see down here under details, there's the script that you need to embed this onto your website. And we'll show you how to do that in just a second. Now, before we move on, it's worth mentioning that contact forms are unique because you'll be inputting multiple fields from different areas of Lumify. So in this example, we have a contact, that's a person, and that person will be entered into your contact section on Lumify. We also have an event being created, and that event will be created under your events. Those events that come in through your Lumify contact form come in by default as prospects. Now, when you have a contact and an event in the same contact form, those contacts will be associated with events. Let's actually do an example really quick. Let's do a test user. Actually, let's make it a test client. Let's do, cool. And then let's do a test wedding. Let's give it a date. And then we'll say test here. So what you'll see is that this client will be created under contacts. This event will be created as a prospect, and those will be joined together. So let's hit contact. Got it, we've received your message. Now let's take a look. So under contacts, sort by created at, we have a new test client, which is the one that we just created. That test client also has a test wedding associated. And this is what we just created. And you'll see that it came in as a prospect. So now from here, you have the client's contact information. You can email them back. You can get more information about their event, and you can send them a contract, and you can send them an invoice, and you can get them signed up for their wedding. You'll also notice that you'll have received a notification in Lumify. In addition to that, you'll also get an email. All right, so that's contact forms. Let's move on to availability checkers. Let's create a new availability checker. You'll see this should look just like your contact forms. All of the options are mostly the same. You have the same appearance options, so you can always change the color of your background. So let's change that to blue. You can also change the button color, make that a red color again. But you'll see that there's some new options up here at the top. You'll see a linked contact form option and availability rules. So let's talk about that. Availability rules allow you to decide when and how you're available for your clients. You have an option for vacation days. So any days that you enter in here will make you show that you're unavailable. So let's create a vacation day for Saturday, April 16th. Let's hit save. Let's update that form. So now if we try to book ourselves for April 16th and we check availability, it'll say that we're all booked up. Now if you remove that date, we update that, and we choose that date, it'll actually show that we're available. And we'll see that in just a second. You can have any number of vacation days entered into here. And this is helpful for when you're on vacation or when you're expecting a busy time and you want to reserve yourself for your clients. Cool. The next option down here is maximum number of events per day. By default, this is set to 1, where you're only available to be booked for 1 event per day. Now, if you're a larger operation and you can handle up to 5 events per day, maybe you want to update that to 5 events. Or maybe you want to do 3 or maybe 2. Now, that's up to you and how you run your business, but that option is there so that you can limit the number of events that you might be booked for in a single day. And this final option here is preventing weekday bookings. If you want to show as busy during the weekday, Monday through Friday, this will allow you to show as busy Monday through Friday, and you'll only be available on Saturday and Sunday. That's an option you can choose to use if you want to. Moving down here, you'll see an option for linked contact form. So what will happen is if you are available on a given day, so let's say, for example, if we're available on the 16th, which we should be, let's actually remove these dates here. So we should be available on the 16th. If you do turn out to be available on the 16th and your client hits check availability, it'll actually take them to that contact form that we just created. And it'll tell your client, congrats, we're available. Tell us more about your event. So the flow of this is you have an availability checker, and if you are available, it'll take them to a contact form. The contact form allows you to collect details about this prospect. Now you can always use a different contact form, so you can create a specific contact form only for the availability checker, or you can use the same contact form that you would use elsewhere on your website. That choice is yours. This is fully customizable here. Now you might have seen that there was a little bit of confetti that dropped. You can choose to keep that on, or you can turn that off as well. That's an option that you can choose. Cool. We've already taken a look at the form appearance options, the dark theme, background color, and button color. And similarly, just like your contact form, you can change the heading text, you can change the success message text, the not available text, and also the submit button text. And just like the contact form, you have the code here, which we'll take a look at in just a second. So finally, let's look at the client login form. Just like the previous two, you have options for changing the appearance. You can change the background. Let's keep this within our brand here. All right. So you can completely customize the appearance of that. You can change the title. If you want to make this say login here, you can do that. Or you can completely remove that if you want as well. You can add some help text. That's just smaller text that'll show up on the login form. You can choose to show the forgot password option if you want. And that's an option. You can disable that if you'd like. You can also change the button text. And you can also hide the Powered by Lumify logo if you want. Cool. All right, so lastly here, this applies to all of the custom widgets. You'll see that there is a script, an iframe, that you can embed into your website. So let's take a look how we would do that. So if you wanted to embed the client login widget, you would select this text, this script, we would copy that. Let's assume that we have a WordPress site. This would work the same for Wix or Squarespace, any sort of custom website designer, the same process would work. So in our case, we have a sample WordPress site that we're going to use. Let's open that up. So here on the edit page, we want to make sure that we skip over to the text option as opposed to the visual option. The visual option allows you to design your text, but what you really want is a text option, which allows you to code in HTML. So once we have the text option selected, I'm going to paste in the script that we copied over and hit update. And just to confirm that that worked, we can skip over to visual. And we'll actually see here now that our login form is there. And if we want to go and view this page, we should see that our login form is there. Now, any updates that we make to this, any of the forms, any of the custom forms, are live. So when you hit save and publish, they'll be live. Let's do that right now. Let's remove this help text and let's change the background color to be a lighter shade of blue. Let's do that. All right, and let's add some text. Log into client portal. So now we'll see we've made some changes here. If we go back to this page, refresh, there you go. Now we'll see those changes have been updated here. So as you can see, custom widgets are highly customizable. They allow you to collect prospect information, allow your clients to check availability, and also allow your clients to access Lumify through your website. You can always allow your clients to access Lumify through your custom domain that you have here, but you can also give them the option to do that straight through your website, which is a nice consumer experience. We'll see you in the next one.